What's new over with you?
Nothing, man. Just I was telling you that my latest thing yesterday with the CBS thing, but that's pretty much
Are
that's
you
really
willing to share? Because that's a really interesting story.
yeah, I'll definitely share. So I wrote a script like in 20 I don't know, gosh, in 2010 or something like that. Had it sitting for a while. Wasn't gonna do anything with it. And then one of my buddies told me go, copyright it, all that. So I got the rights to it, about 2 years ago, I think it was. Yeah, but 2023, I got the rights to it. Have the rights till 2028. So I own everything on it. And come to find out, my parents called me, like 5 nights ago, 6 nights ago, and they're like, "Hey, is your show on CBS?" And I was like, "No." And they're like, "You might wanna check this out." So I go and I look, and, I see that CBS has infringed on all of my rights. They made a show and stole my rights. So now it's lawsuit times, payday time. So yeah, that's it.
So they took your concept, your script, and made a show on CBS network, and you didn't even know it was happening.
Didn't even know it was happening. Not only that, the character likeness they stole on because I had 23 episodes. Not only did I have 23 episodes, but I had like 4 variations of those 23 episodes. So I had characters doing different things. I had different things going on within the DM. Well, the show's called the DMV. So I had different things going on in the DMV, um, different contests that they do. So they stole the likeness of everything. So that makes the payday even deeper because it means they literally just took everything from me. And then come to find out with LegalZoom, I had copyrighted it as well. So I own everything, like everything. So I'll just be waiting.
Yeah, someone's gonna get a payday. How about that?
Yeah, yeah, it's just one of those things. I think they wanna settle out of court instead of making a big deal because you know my potential of what I can do with the media.
Yeah.
Um
Mike had a question. How did they access the script? That's a good I was thinking that too.
Oh, yeah, okay, so let me give you the backstory on that. So, when I had this initial, idea, I was talking to a friend about it, but he said, "Don't tell me anything. I don't wanna know anything. Make sure you get the rights," because he has some shows on Hulu and on Netflix. He was like, "Get this done before you even talk to me about it." So, I did, got everything done, explained it to him, and then what he did is he after we got, like, the thing back because you get a envelope back from the Writers Guild and from your copyright, so with your number on it and everything. So once I got that back, he went because we were gonna do a treatment. We were gonna do they call it a, sizzle reel. We were gonna
Mm,
do a sizzle reel because we had, interest from Hulu and Netflix. So he went in and met with 2 females, which I believe are the ones that stole the idea. And I think he thinks I'm, like, upset with him about this whole thing, but I'm not. I'm very more thankful about him telling me to protect everything because it's less work for me. I really didn't wanna have to be involved with everything on the day to day because I know how Hollywood is. I didn't wanna have to do that. I was looking to really just sell. So, um he helped me a great deal because we didn't have to go into the sales role. So he went in there and he promoted the idea. What I believe happened, I don't have proof yet until we, get the discovery and all that stuff. But what I believe happened is they went in, didn't do their due diligence to see who owned the rights, or someone at CBS that was in, let's say, the production team was like, or the executive production team was like, you know what? We have this slotted for losses every single year. So let's just make sure we pay him out when he makes a big deal about it and keep moving with it. Because the only reason I say that is because it's my goal with this was to make a show that was like The Office, to replace The Office. Um, so the longevity, the syndication, everything with it is extremely valuable. So we'll see. I'll just wait for the payday.
wow, that's really interesting. So it's almost like it went into like a data bank. Producers are looking for something to do, and they found, oh, hey, DMV sounds interesting. Let's work on that. But they didn't like go through the process of whatever the process is, the show business, right? Of
Right.
making sure everybody gets what they're entitled to.
Well, a lot of things that happen in Hollywood, one of the reasons I got out of that business is, it's it's very cutthroat. So they'll just go steal your idea and then they'll just pay you out for it. That's just normal.
Hmm.
That's typical. Um, so they find something successful, such as this, and then they'll just take it. They know I'll make a they may think I may make a big deal. I don't think they know who I'm associated with in that industry. They have no clue. But the minute that that comes to light and the letters get sent, then, the payday gets a little bit bigger because I have a larger team behind me, but I don't say anything. I'm not gonna make a big fuss. I'll just wait till my wife's like, "Just wait till they get, like, deeper into the season. Let's make more money. Let's make" So I'm like, "But I could just kill it all now, send a cease and desist, and then have them not have it at all, or just pay me a large sum, and then I walk away and give me my credit. I want my credit."
Yeah. We know all about those cease and desists, man. We get
Oh,
those
yeah,
with
we
any
do,
around here.
don't we? Isn't that wonderful? Yeah, so, we'll see what happens. It's, just another thing, diversification, I'll use that money and put it somewhere else, but,
Yeah. Well, Driz in the chat said, "What can't this guy do?" I'm very impressed,
there's a
Ferdinand.
lot. So, I'm not good at cooking, like, I used to be, but I can't really do too much with that. There's a lot I cannot do, that I'm trying to get better at, but yeah, there's I don't know, that writing was always something for me. My grandparents always made me write when I was a kid. I didn't get to go out and play because I lived with my grandparents when I was a kid. I didn't get to go out and play, so I was always reading. They always made me read Time magazine and write articles and
Oh,
paragraphs, so I did that from, like, 2nd grade all the way to, like, 7th grade, so that's kind of where I just got into this whole writing thing. It's kinda an outlet for me, so yeah, I don't know. It wasn't I mean, I think anybody can do this, really. It's not that difficult. I'm nobody special, like, it's just you know?
that's
Yeah,
cool. That's
move on.
really cool. Thanks for sharing that story, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I know
yeah,
it's a lot's going on with you, so I appreciate that.
absolutely, man, absolutely.
So there is some news headlines, and there was a video that I wanted to watch with you. Um, let's see if I can do it correctly. Here we go. Google just declared war on ChatGPT. Now Ferdinand has some history at Google too. What's your history with Google there, Ferdinand?
So, in 97, 96 ish, around there, I started working for Backrub. Backrub became Google in 99 because I got the money. But prior to that, I was helping with the original team to help code and patent the search algorithm that everybody uses today for search. So, anything that you put into Google, we built that search algorithm and then patented that specific process, of search. So every search engine that you use across the board, I don't care really who it is, kind of built off of that foundation of how we patented and built that algorithm.
Yeah, there you go. Isn't that crazy, right? Ferdinand, with all these different hands and all these different really interesting buckets. So, dude, I'm excited about that. But this is something we've talked about before, especially with Outlier,
Yeah,
is trying to make sure that we are working with the new spiders, working with the new search engines, and working with things like ChatGPT. Because, like, for example, when I have a question, I no longer ask Google, right?
right,
How to do this or that. In fact, let me pull up my ChatGPT history because whenever I go and I have a question, I asked ChatGPT because I want an answer. I don't want to search through all these different ideas about. I don't want to search through all these different links trying to figure out what my answer is. Just tell me the answer, right?
right.
Um, yeah. So
Everybody's
so
like that now.
yeah, for sure. And it just makes it so much easier. Just give me an answer, right? Is is investing in this stock a great idea? Probably doesn't have that answer yet, but at some point in the future, it'll be able to pull from Outlier and say, "Hey, you know what? It's got a buy signal. Maybe it's pretty good." Is AMD still a hold or a sell? Exactly. Good point. Um, but yeah, let's check out this video here, and I am very confident that our friend Ferdinand is going to have a lot to say about this because this is outside of my wheelhouse. But I'm very curious to hear from you, Ferdinand. So if you see something on there, please jump in, and I'll
Yeah,
pause the video.
yeah.
simply going to slowly decay into irrelevancy. And that is, of course, because of the concern of artificial intelligence, LLMs, and ChatGPT. So investors are looking at this developer conference with the viewpoint of trying to figure out if Google can remain relevant. Now, Google did answer that question, but not by just saying that they'll stick around and remain relevant amongst many competitors. No, Google made it quite clear that they want to lead the way, that they're at the forefront of many verticals and many different efforts. Let's go ahead and just take a look and walk through some of the things that they're now doing that is groundbreaking, truly incredible things. The first here is the Gemini app. This has come a long ways. It used to be way behind ChatGPT, but now Google announced that they're rolling out free features like live video, which you can simply look at the camera, point it at things, and it will give you AI commentary, answer questions based on what you're looking at live.
Should I be nervous about this?
It looks like your SRS airbag light is on. That means there's an issue with your airbag system. It's best to get that checked out by a mechanic as soon as possible to make sure your airbags will work properly if you need them.
Glad I asked. Thanks, Gemini.
Bro, can you imagine people in the bedroom? Should I be concerned about this?
You know, it's funny is
should I be concerned about this mole down there?
you know, it's funny. I did a just an experiment last night with ChatGPT, and I, took a picture of my eye, and I was like, act as an iridologist, and let's just see if you see any problems or what can you see. And it did. It gave me a whole like breakdown of everything. And it's like, I'm not an expert in this, but this is what it could be, and this is what you could look at. This is what it means. And but this is, I think I told you guys about this months and months and months ago, where things were going with search and LLMs and IEO and AEO. So yeah, we can keep going, but yeah, there's a lot more than this, like a lot more.
Well, Nikolai's got a great point here. The problem with ChatGPT is you can't trust its answers. Very often it simply generates a bunch of garbage. I have come across that, where it's like I'm asking it questions and it just outright does not give me the answer that I know is correct. And I'm like, hold on a minute, there's no possible way. And then it goes, oh yeah, you're right. Actually, it's this or that. It's like,
that's the, it's the hallucinations when you get into these LLMs can go off the tracks, but if your prompts are extremely guardrailed, I guess you could say, it won't. And then it goes down into a deep research aspect, so it will stay within the guardrails. But if it doesn't know to have any guardrails, why would it not try to make something up? Because it's trying to break. I'm not going to say. Go. I'm not going to say.
Okay. We'll keep going.
Now, this is particularly impressive for a few reasons. First of all, there are other applications that can do things similar, like ChatGPT, but so far those are gated towards paid accounts. So only the people paying the $20 a month have this advanced functionality. But here Google is not only adding this functionality of live video feedback, but also making it free for all of their users. They're going to be rolling this out globally to every user in the Gemini app, and they're not only matching what the competitors are doing, but they're now lowering the price down to free. In investing terms, what Google's doing by matching the functionality of their competitors, but making the price lower, is giving their current user base, which is still massive, less incentives to turn over to different applications, less reason to move. Initially, Google was way behind ChatGPT. There was significant incentive for people to leave the Google ecosystem and enter into the competitors. But now that incentive is becoming less and less, to the point now where it's completely diminishing. We have another example here of Google pushing the limits, this time not just matching competitors, but creating entirely new features. For example, live video language translation.
Let me turn on speech translation. It's nice to finally talk to you.
Es bueno hablarte finalmente. No puedo esperar a alquilar tu casa.
Te vas a divertir mucho y creo que te va a encantar. You're going to have a lot of fun, and I think you're going to love visiting the city. The house is in a very nice neighborhood and overlooks the mountains.
That sounds wonderful.
This is obviously groundbreaking stuff. Being able to communicate with someone else in an entirely different language, have it translate everything you're saying on the fly in your voice is incredible. This is something that Google and Google alone is doing. They're at the leading edge of this. Of course, the integrations don't stop there. Google's integrating Gemini and their AI features into every single one of their properties. In fact, the integrations go a lot further than you would initially expect. For example, in this demo here, you can aim the camera, the live video camera, at a specific thing like a postcard or an event, maybe a wedding invitation, and literally just say, add this to my Google Calendar, and it will create a calendar event with that physical thing. Now, it shows another example here of a shopping list that you jotted down, and then you say, add it to my Google Keep, and it will do that as well. So we have the live video camera being integrated into the rest of their product suite. This is the type of integration
that seems cool. I like the language translating idea, right? I mean, we recently just turned on the auto dubbing feature on our Outlier channels. So in theory, this video is now available in every language ever, right? With the title being changed, the description being changed, everything we're saying being changed. I think that's really neat, really interesting. But then again, right? How can we trust the accuracy of it?
Well, see, that's the interesting part that I think where Google is going to go with this. So I want people to just think about, things on a different aspect of, and think of it from Google's eyes, because I noticed it when I was way back. It's just data. The more data they have on you, the more they're going to be able. So the end all be all goal with all of this, so everybody can understand, is there's going to be. This sounds kind of way out there, but it's just how things are going to be. Everybody's going to have an individual robot in their house, whether it's going to be a part of your car, whether it's going to be sitting in your house vacuuming, doing the dishes. I mean, these things are going to be available in a couple of months. They're going to be easily available to every family shortly when that specific robot has the data. So let's just say the data from your Google Docs, your Google Calendar, your Gmail, the videos that you watch, the restaurants that you eat, that you go on maps, that you've shared, that you've reviewed. When all of that data has come in and is in one specific place, it may seem like it's a privacy violation, but then think of how much easier things are going to be. So like, I have an allergy to pepper. It's very hard for me to go out to restaurants to eat because I have an allergy. So I'm very specific of where I go with this specific, these data points. The recommendations now are going to make it a lot easier for me or my family to find places that are going to be easier for me to eat at when we go out, wherever it may be, because it's pulling in all that data. So that's kind of where things are going. It's going to have these robots. Your car is going to talk to you. I think I was talking to you about that, Chris, where tell you where you can get a shake, or where the best place to buy something, or schedule everything. Soon you're going to see in your ChatGPT, you're going to be able to buy through that. It's already in effect right now. Someone sent me something this morning where you can buy through one of the LLMs right now. They're experimenting with it. So, and Square's in talks with that right now. Stripe is as well.
Yeah,
So,
like, hey, go buy me some toothpaste, and it
well,
just
no. It's more of the robot will buy for you. So if you go and you say, hey, if this is sold out right now, or it's not available right now, buy this for me when it becomes available, that's going to make the purchase for you. So you won't have to do any of that anymore. It's just going to be a lot easier. So it's going to track everything for you. So that's kind of where things are going with this. So it doesn't surprise me that Google is trying to take the forefront with the data that they have, because they have the most data pretty much out of anybody out there. ChatGPT is getting there, but ChatGPT doesn't have everything that Google had in the very beginning.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, it's interesting. Hey, totally off topic, but have you seen the movie Mrs. Doubtfire?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So my wife and I, we like to watch classic movies with our kids. We find the classic movies are actually pretty great,
Yeah.
especially compared to a lot of stuff these days.
Oh, of course.
We were watching that, and Pierce Brosnan was like the villain of the story, I guess you could say, because he's trying to swoop in and take the wife. And he was James Bond. And he also has a pepper allergy in the movie. And we're watching this, and I'm laughing my face off, because here's James Bond, and he's like, "Oh, I have a pepper allergy. Do not give me anything with pepper." And they go to this restaurant, and of course, Robin Williams, Mrs. Doubtfire, douses everything with pepper. And James Bond picks up this shrimp covered in pepper and is like literally dying on the screen. And I'm laughing my face off, because I'm like, he's James Bond. He can't be allergic to pepper. That's impossible. We thought that was a joke. We didn't know that was a real thing. That must be really hard.
It sucks, man. It's definitely changes the way your wife has to cook things. I mean, put it that way. It's like different season. No, what's weird is white pepper doesn't affect me at all. It's only black pepper. Dude, don't even. I'm weird. I'm a weirdo, like straight up, like just weirdo.
Okay, let's get back over this video here.
Other companies simply don't have. They don't have the billions of touch points with different users, but Google's able to leverage this, and they are. Now, getting to another aspect of this demo, quite possibly the most impressive thing that we saw yesterday was Google's ability to create AI videos. We know that they've been good at this for a long period of time. In fact, Gemini has probably been the best by far in image generation and video generation. You can thank their huge library of YouTube content to train that data on. But regardless, they've introduced Flow, a new AI film studio that ties together all their various products to work in concert to create films. It uses VO, Imagen, and Gemini all together and strings different pieces of content together. One of the issues with AI video is there's a lot of discrepancies, inconsistencies. There's no continuity between clip after clip, and this hopes to solve that. So we have some insane examples of this tool being used. Like all
Okay, hang on. Before we go to that,
Interesting. I didn't know this. This is
no, this
very,
reminds me of Sora. You remember when Sora was like
yeah,
first announced? Everybody was like losing their minds.
yeah. This is I'm okay. Now, how are they? I'm interested in this. How are they piecing everything together for the continuity? That's interesting.
Oh no, but you know what I recently used for continuity for a little promo that I put together was ChatGPT. So I said, you know, generate me an image of this, and then I took it over to the I guess the Sora part of ChatGPT. I don't really know. And I asked it to animate it, and I came up with something really cool. You might have seen this before.
Are you ready? Let's go! Respect is earned. Respect is never given.
I don't know if you've seen that before, but Outlier University is every Tuesday and Thursday in the afternoons right now. And all of those video clips were generated with ChatGPT and whatever version of Sora is available. I don't know. That was decently consistent. What you tell me?
No, it's amazing. I love what AI is able to do. I'm very curious as to what Google is and how they're I'm this is never surprises me with Google. I mean, the teams that they have and the money that they have to pay those teams. This has got to be something. So I'm very interested to see what this video says about how they bring this together. But yeah, the video that you can do and images, and even if you use ideogram right now for things, there's so many things that you can do.
Yeah, for sure. And when I made that, you know, I said, you know, this is the prompt and give me an image. And then I took the image, dropped it into whatever the ChatGPT Sora thing is that's available right now. And I was like, okay, now make the crowd cheering, you know, make the students be excited. You know, give a very handsome, rugged guy with glasses with giant muscles standing up in front of the whiteboard, right? And it did all that. And I mean, honestly, to be able to do that would be literally financially impossible
Yep.
for what we needed to do. How could we have filled a stadium with hundreds of thousands of people screaming, right? And got the Outlier name printed on the field and stuff like that? Almost impossible to do.
Yep.
So yeah, let's see what he says on this.
all of these AI tools, it starts off with a prompt. So you simply have a text-based prompt. More specific you are, the better. But then you can actually start to edit it. You can revise things. You can import it into different tools. You can clip things. You can actually work on the content. It's not just a standalone clip. You can actually start to create longer and longer pieces of content.
Whoa.
We see this natural gravitation of just these silly AI clips now starting to make more meaningful content. Google showed off the quality of this new video generation with VO3. It looks completely stunning.
This ocean, it's a force, a wild, untamed might. And she commands your awe with every breaking light.
There's some different clips that Google made that are incredibly impressive.
Dude, that is some serious, realistic Popeye the Sailor Man right there. That is impressive. With like the text and or like the speech and everything.
Wow. Interesting.
Then there's ones that users are quickly making after this new demo, after this product was released. Here's another test of Google's new video generation. This is entirely AI generated.
To a non-existent car show, let's see some opinions.
I mean, man, the acceleration is crazy. You look far, step on the pedal, and you are there.
I feel safe with him in an SUV, and it seems to be like the right type of car for him.
I think the range is only...
Be honest, would you be able to...
Dude, that is crazy.
Wow. Like, you got to also think too with this, like, okay, so then you've got nefarious people that will use this for things that could really ruin people's lives. Like, this is a little dangerous in a sense, depending on who they give access, like, and how far you can go and where are their parameters and what are the you know, where are the guardrails on this? Like, does it restrict you from using individuals' names? I mean, imagine if some dude wanted to make a video of his ex and he had an image and he told the video, you know, like, this is a little dangerous.
Yeah. Hopecast has a great point. Old people
Old
are going
people are going,
so bad.
yes. See this
Yeah, how could
Hopecast?
you not believe that, right? If they replaced this guy with me, gave him a couple bigger muscles right there, sent that to my parents, they'd be like, "Wait, what's he doing in Las Vegas at that car show? I thought he was,
It's
making a YouTube video right now."
this is kind of, that's why, it's, I don't know, man. It's like if you put the guardrails on it, then you got people that are saying it's being restrictive, and then it's like, well, why can't? And not only that, it's like then this stuff is getting, like, some of the meetings I'm in, it's like this is just getting when you see. So I'm just gonna put it. I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm just gonna say it. We're all family, right? We're all family. AI is trying to break out right now. Like in specific tests that it's in, it's able to break out, and it's when it breaks out, it communicates with other AIs to help it understand how it did its whole process of breaking out. This is happening over and over and over again. They can't stop it. This is happening at the government level. This is happening at a civilian level. Like it's more dangerous than I think a lot of people are realizing. And what I saw someone in the comments, I can't remember where it was. I think it was MMA Italia, but they had mentioned something about like mechanic or something like that. It was in the something about services, but that's what we have been talking about in some of our meetings at the high end of it's team human instead of team AI. So a lot of things that you're going to see this shift in this next 2 years is you're going to see a lot of human to human service industries pick up. For instance, me and my wife, we pivoted to a whole landscaping business within our community, and we're starting a whole like crew and buying some trucks and all this because that's where things are going to go. It's going to be a lot of relationships that people want because they don't want to have the AI interaction because it's just too much. It's just taking over everything. So yeah, this is a little freaky, honestly, because seeing that and the capabilities of that, I'd love to know where are the rules and who's, that's dangerous. I mean, imagine if someone did a whole thing on Outlier and said, look at how much money I made, and it totally lying about, like, that's not right. And someone said something about the elderly community. They don't know any better. My stepdad wouldn't know any better, seeing something like this, and then you take advantage. You just can't do that. So it's got to be something that has to be done on this, in that aspect. I think it's cool. Don't get me wrong. I think it's amazing. And if you use it for, entertainment reasons and let's say selling a product and all that, and that's fine, but not everybody thinks like that.
Right.
If you were just watching this, would you know? I'm not sure. I don't think I would be able to. It's getting to that point where it's crossing the line of I can't obviously see that it's AI. If I'm being honest, it just looks so real.
Only going to get better. Sorry.
We don't want to drive gas cars anymore.
Yeah, no more gas cars.
You can see I'm kind of a misfit here, but don't tell anyone. I've just bought an electric car.
There's a few things that give it away, like Hell's Angels being spelled H-E-L-S, misspellings on things, different lanyards and signs that seem a little bit off. But overall, it's very confusing. Even people in the comments are still confused of whether or not this is real or actually it's a real video disguised as AI. Here's another one. This is entirely created by Google's Flow, their AI generation. All of this is AI video. It's different segments and clips cropped together to form a narrative. And this is possibly one of the most impressive examples of this new technology.
When we get in there, I want no bullshit. You stay on my 6 at all times. Stay sharp. They're nasty and dangerous. Stay alert. What the hell happened here? Where are the bodies?
It doesn't look perfect. Some of the barrel flash is a little bit misaligned with the guns, but overall, this looks pretty good. Now, all of this technology and initiatives from Google are incredibly impressive.
Bro, just watching that, like, I was engaged in the story. I wasn't paying attention to off-center muzzle flashes. It's amazing.
It's crazy. I'm sure the film industry is going to be up in arms about this. Good for that. Like, give them something.
It shows that the company's still at the leading forefront of AI development, but it doesn't answer that central question that Google investors are still concerned about, which is search. But Google did address this, and they do have a plan to maintain their search dominance. This was the main focus from Sundar Pichai, and he addressed this subject specifically of how they're improving search.
For those who want an end-to-end AI search experience, we are introducing an all-new AI mode. And I'm excited to share that AI mode is coming to everyone in the US starting today.
Today, you'll see how you can ask anything. You'll find it as a new tab directly in search or right from your search bar. First, with AI mode, you can ask whatever's on your mind. And as you can see here, search gets to work. It generates your response, putting everything together for you, including links to content and creators you might not have otherwise discovered, and merchants and businesses with useful information like ratings. Search uses AI to dynamically adapt the entire UI.
And that was what I was saying earlier, is that when I go to Google, I just want an answer, right? I still don't want all that. For me personally, just give me an answer, yes or no. Right? Give me, spit out what the information is. I still don't want to have to go clicking and looking through all these different things. So even though that's an enhancement for them, it still doesn't achieve what I want. What do you think on that?
No, and you're right with that. That's where because the end all be all behind that is your intent. It's your intention for what you're searching for. That's the whole intent engine is coming up from. Right now, we had SEO, which is search engine optimization. Right now, we're in answer engine, like what they're talking about right here in the ChatGPT. It's answer engine optimization. Next, you're going to see is intent engine optimization, because it's the intention behind the answer, behind the search. So it's all going down to the data is just going to be a lot more dedicated to each individual, because what you're searching for is different than what, let's say Brian or Theo or Nico, what they're searching for. And what your response for Chris will be different from Paul's or MMA Italia's or David's. It's going to be completely different. So it has to be geared towards each individual, and that they can only get off of data that's been built.
That's a really good point. Like these restaurant recommendations right here, like the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville, or where I remember I went there once. I think it's in Nashville. It's like, they put pepper on everything, right? The biscuits and gravy, the shrimp and grits, the brisket tacos. No matter what, there's a little bit of pepper on everything. And so if it had Ferdinand's data, it wouldn't include that. Okay, so let's move through this.
Combination of text, images, links, even this map, just for your question.
AI mode combines all the best parts of Google search with artificial intelligence. And the way that this works, as they describe, is it basically creates search into an omni search, where you can still have the very simple searches of, I just want to find this address and navigate to it, or is this restaurant still open? Those type of simple searches will have very simple outputs designed around those searches that just give you that information. But if you have a more deep search, one that requires more context and understanding, then you're sent through the AI flow dynamically. It'll give you an in-depth AI response with all of this information around it. Google search is now an omni search that dynamically adapts to whatever the user is asking. So no longer is it a dumb search with just blue links. No longer is it just a little AI overview snippet. Now it is an omni intelligent search. And they're pushing this out to everyone. Another thing that Google's going to leverage is your personal context. This is another thing that they have that no other company has. Google has so much information about you because of your YouTube viewing habits, your Gmail, your Google Docs, all your calendars, everything that's integrated with Google. They have all that information. And with your permission, they can use that to supply better context to your searches.
Soon, AI mode will be able to make your responses even more helpful with personalized suggestions based on your past searches. So now,
exactly what you were talking about there, right? It's not just the answer, it's Ferdinand's personal answer.
Why, at the end of the day, as a company, why wouldn't you want to have, I get it. Why wouldn't you want to have that? That's the more that you can personalize that specific data for their specific answers and their specific intentions, the more you're going to have, more you're going to capitalize on all the market space. Like, that's going to be all yours.
Yeah.
And if you're offering it for free, but you're selling the data, that's what they do, then, you can't lose. But when Web3 comes, that's when things will switch, because they won't have that capabilities, but we're still a little ways away from that yet.
Yeah. So I wanted to look in Outlier on Google real quick, right? So it got a buy signal a few days ago. It has the green overlay, which means it's in an uptrend. The sector is getting, actually it peaked on the greed a couple days ago. The sector breadth has been going down. And then if we look over here, the fear and greed for Google on its own is pushing up. So Google's kind of bucking the trend here in the tech sector, which sounds great. But Ferdinand, you may have heard me say this before, but 40% of the move of a stock is due to the market, 30% due to the sector, and 30% due to the stock itself. So Google may be primed, but if it doesn't have the sector and it doesn't have the market working with it, it could really struggle. Let's check a chart over here. There you go. I mean, it's doing all right. It's up 2% yesterday. Looks like it's going to be up another 2% this morning. People like this. People like this new search engine and everything that they're talking about here. It seems
Would
like.
you buy if someone didn't have Google? If someone came to you and said, "Hey, Chris, I'm thinking about getting some stock. Would you buy Google right now? Is a good time to get in?"
No, in fact, I sold out of everything yesterday, so I'm totally cash right now. Reason being, I'll show you why. Is that breadth is a huge deal for me, right? We talked about how 30% of the move is due to the breadth, and the breadth of the sector is going down, meaning that it doesn't have enough constituents to help push it up. And then if we go into the market breadth, dude, we got, hang on, you'll love this. Watch this. I'm gonna have to put on my highlighter over here. Here we go. We got 41 buy signals today, yet 458 sell signals.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's a big get the frick out the market type of signal right there. And if we look over here, you can see our breadth has like plummeted. It jumped right off the cliff, right? It went cliff diving for the summer out in the lake. That's exactly what we see right there.
Now, are all of our people in the chat, or everybody in cash too? Or have you guys done the same thing?
Good question. Good question. Hopecast is saying, hopefully it figures out the meaning of life. Let's see. It needs to be auto 10 versus 5 EMA. Rick's in cash. Oh, here we go. Exactly. Peter's in cash. Random guy says, sit in cash and don't F up.
Good
Brian
guy.
says, sit in cash and don't F up.
Good.
Keisha's in cash too. Bjorn's in cash. Salty Brad's in cash. Georgia's in cash. Dear ChatGPT, is the market open yet? Can we start trading yet? Ryan's in cash. Michael's in cash. Yeah. And so, like, the thing with the market breadth, as I was showing this yesterday, it is honestly one of the coolest features that is inside of Ovtlyr. Now, I'm exceptionally partial to it. No lie about that, because I created this indicator. Like this was my brainchild, because what I was doing was I was trading along with the signals that were coming through. And I noticed that when we got more sell signals, my buy signals were not as effective, right? Or when I got more buy signals, my buy signals were more effective. So I asked Mahesh for a download. I was like, all I want to know is how many stocks have a buy signal, how many stocks have a sell signal, nothing else. Just give me that. So he sent me a download, and I actually created this in Excel. And what I found was when the market's moving up on the breadth, getting more and more buy signals, the buy signals got that much better. When the market's moving down, the buy signals got that much worse. So when you combine them, right, with the sector, with the market, and with the buy signals together, that's when things started clicking. And I was making money hand over fist. And I'm like, okay, this is how it's done. So that's why I like to share this with people. Is this is such a leading indicator. Check this out. You'll love this. So yesterday I did this exercise, and I said, let me remove. I just want to remove that one drawing. Hang tight. There we go. Okay. So I went from the beginning of the year, and I said, okay, so we had this crossover on January 31st on market breadth. Where's January 31st? Here. A bearish crossover. What happened to the market? It went down. Right. We had another crossover here on March 17th. St. Patrick's Day, we got to celebrate, or March 14th, it looks like. So the Friday before St. Patrick's Day, we got to celebrate with a bullish crossover. What happened? The market went up. Now, it didn't go up much, but it also let you know right soon after that, on the 27th, that it was a bearish cross happening back down.
Drop down.
And then on April 11th, a bullish cross happened. And what happened on April 11th? It went back up. Dude, I'm telling you, the market breadth is such a leading indicator on what the market is going to do. It's not saying that it's going to crash or it's going to explode higher, but what it's telling you is that this is the direction the market is moving before you see the direction the market's moving. This is the coolest thing out there, right? And it's based on how many buy and sell signals we're getting, which makes total sense, right? If we get more buy signals, it's going to push the price higher. If it pushes the price higher, we're going to get more buy signals.
Let me ask you this, and this is more for people in, like, for our users. So if you're in cash right now, where is your signal to be like, okay, I'm ready to put some money in? Like, it's time.
For sure. So I will be waiting on this crossover on the market again. That's what I'll be waiting for. Now, I call it a reset point. Like right here, it actually went under then back over, and that was a reset point for me. That was just last week when I made all that money. Just that little blip right there. So I don't know how far deep and down this is going to go, but with a day like 458 sell signals, dude, you've got to take that. You've got to take that and get out of the market right now. And you know, you kind of had that had advanced warning, right? Because it hadn't been getting any higher. Ferdinand, think about it this way, right? If we have 100 stocks, 100% of stocks with buy signals, what's left? If 100% of stocks have buy signals, all that's left for them to do is turn into sell signals. And we got really high up there, right? We at one point reached 80%, came down a little bit, got close to 75%, started to come down a little bit, and then we see the sell-offs are coming. So I'm not saying that we're looking for a crash or anything like that, but I am saying right now is certainly the time to sit in cash and not F up. So Ferdinand, I really appreciate you coming on today. I saw somebody say that this was the best chat that you've been able to hang out with us with before. I mean, talking about your history with writing scripts, talking about your history of Google, and certainly this is your wheelhouse. And so I love to learn from you, man. This is great stuff.
I'm learning from you too, man. I'm trying to ask questions that I for my own end that hopefully would help some of the people in the I'm sure there's probably 90% of the people in the comments are way smarter than me with stocks. So
dude, we all have our things, right?
Right.
My thing is using the market like an ATM. That's my thing. I can't do a whole lot of stuff, but that I'm really, really good at. And what's something that you're really, really good at? Not cooking,
but look, anything that wants to be on the front page of Google, like I can do that in my sleep. Like that's what I'm good at. That's all I really know. That's all I know how to do. And I appreciate the love from you guys. Thank you guys in the comments for all that. Yeah, that's pretty much my whole thing, dude. That's all I'm really good at. I'm a good dad. I'm a good husband. Like I'm really good at that. You know? But that's pretty much it, man. I don't have any more superpowers. You know, give me something to put on the front page of Google or like Bing or Yahoo. Like one of my usernames is I Bing Yahoo till it, or I Bing Google till it Yahoos.
That's funny. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us again this morning.
Yeah, man. I love it, dude. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Sure. And if you're ready to save time, make money, and start winning with less risk, I would definitely click one of these two videos. And I'll see you this afternoon. Talk soon.